Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli said that Egypt plans to host the international conference on the early recovery and the reconstruction of the Gaza Strip. The Prime Minister said that the International Sharm el-Sheikh Peace Summit in early October was held at a delicate time with the aim of reconsolidating the principles of peace and stability in the Middle East and to launch recovery efforts in Gaza. The Prime Minister's statements came in the address before the first leaders meeting of the Global Alliance Against Hunger and Poverty in Doha on behalf of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. Madbouli extended an invitation for the attendees to participate in the International Conference for the Gaza Reconstruction, adding that hunger and poverty are still pressing challenges in the present day, as seen in the Gaza Strip, where the conflict is undermining life and depriving people from their basic rights. Madbouli also reviewed the Egyptian state efforts to widen the coverage of the social protection, notably the presidential social development initiatives and programs that target more than 60 million people in Egypt and reflect a commitment to the goal of eradicating poverty and achieving sustainable development.
Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli also to participate on behalf of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in the second World Summit for Social Development that will convene from the November the 4th to the 6th in the Qatari capital. Qatar will host the World Social Summit under the title Second World Summit for Social Development from November 4th to the 6th in Doha. So, Doha hosts the first edition of the Summit Against Hunger and Poverty back-to-back with the Second World Summit for Social Development. The Prime Minister is expected to hold a number of meetings with top executives during his visit to Doha.
On the sidelines of the summit of the Alliance Against Hunger and Poverty in Doha, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli held a meeting with the Qatari Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani. Madbouli conveyed regards of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to Qatar's Emir Tamim bin Hamad and stressed the significance of hosting the Global Alliance Against Hunger and Poverty in Doha. The Prime Minister asserted willingness to expand the scope of cooperation in the upcoming phase, notably in regard to economic cooperation, trade and investments, in light of the outcomes of the joint Egyptian-Qatari committee meetings held last August in New Alamein. For his part, the Qatari Prime Minister stressed his country's keen interest in consolidating bilateral relations with Egypt across different fields and activating the Qatari investments in Egypt in various sectors. Bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani hailed the coordination between Egypt and Qatar in the Palestinian file, expressing willingness to extend coordination to other files in a way that benefits both countries and the region at large.
Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli stressed Egypt's support to the legitimate government in Aden and the unity of Yemeni state and its independence. In addition, the importance of Yemen's stability and security for the regional security. This came as Madbouli met his Yemeni counterpart Saleh bin Break on the sidelines of the first leaders meeting of the Global Alliance Against Hunger and Poverty in Doha. The Premier reiterated that he is looking forward to benefit from Egyptian expertise in sectors like electricity, customs and taxes.
A round of Egyptian-US strategic dialogue over the African issues was held under the chairmanship of Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati and the senior US President's advisor for the Arab and African Affairs, Mus'ab Boulos. The consultations tackled the developments in Sudan, Libya and the Great Lakes region, the Sahel and the Horn of Africa, in addition to the Egyptian water security file. The top diplomat asserted the Egyptian constant position in support of Sudan's unity, security and institutional stability, condemning recent human rights violations in El Fasher. Over Libya, the foreign minister reiterated the Egyptian position, calling for maintaining the Libyan state unity and stability and the rejection to any foreign interferences or foreign troops' presence on its territory. Egypt's stock market indices collectively went up in the trading session after selective purchasing operations, while the foreign investment funds reached higher rates. So the benchmark EGX 30 index jumped by 1.42% to close at 38,622.84 points. The EGX 70 index for the small and medium businesses also gained 0.71%, and the broader EGX 100 index also added 0.8% at the closure. The market capitalization gained £35 billion to close at £2,796 billion amid transactions of about 30 billion Egyptian pounds.